Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. How are you all doing today on this Saturday, November 2nd, 2024? We're getting the wind down, folks. The president election will be on Tuesday, and I'm sure there'll be a big aftermath, and the votes might not be counted, and there might be some arguing back and forth. But, lately we've all seen some of the big rallies, and I just wanted to touch on some of the bigger rallies, the ones that we've all seen on TV, we're familiar with. I thought I'd start with last week, the Madison Square Garden Trump rally, which was a pretty motivating rally, to tell you the truth. But they had that guy, what's his name, Tony Hinklick. Kill Tony. I can't screw up with that, right? Personally, I think Tony Kilton was very, very funny. And, he said, look, comedy is comedy, but I think for a political rally, he should have been vetted more. They should have gone over the ground rules on what he should say and what he shouldn't say. He did not make the Trump campaign look very good. Now, I'm sure this will help Tony's career once the dust settles, but I'm sure that the Trump party regrets just putting Tony out there without finding out what he was going to. Even Trump kind of tried to distance himself from Tony, saying, I don't know him. They just put him up. Well, if you're running for president, you should know who's standing up and speaking for you. I'm hoping that's a lesson for Mr. Trump. Now let's go over to the Harris campaign, okay? Most recently in Las Vegas, Kamala had J-Lo speaking for her. So the first thing she gives a shout out to Castle Hill from the Bronx, which, yes, we all know, that you were Jenny from the block, but you're not Jenny from the block anymore, okay? I don't think you would be caught walking down any street in Castle. I don't even know Castle Hill, okay? I'm from Long Island. So anyway, and then she gives a shout out to Sunrise Manor. How would you know where Sunrise Manor is unless someone told you where it is, unless you happen to own like a fifth house there? But, what? I used to really love J-Lo back in the day when she was J-Lo. But I took a look at her speaking at this event, and I don't recognize this woman. She must have had a lot of plastic surgery because to me, she looked just like Melania Trump. And believe me, I would not offend Melania. Believe me, I would not offend Donald Trump's wife. I was actually watching Melania speak at Madison Square Garden. I thought, what a beautiful woman. But, J-Lo with this Melania knockoff thing is not pulling it off. She does not look good, J-Lo, okay? She looks plastic. She looks fake. And I think, well, let's move on before I get my little synopsis, because I also want to talk about Cardi B. I think, was it Milwaukee? Recently, maybe yesterday, Cardi B did a little campaign, rah, 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 for Kamala at a rally also. And I don't know if you noticed this, Cardi B didn't know what the hell to say unless she was looking at her phone. Okay? That's pretty bad. Yeah, all right. She wrote the speech. I give her credit. She's not Joe Biden or Kamala. She wrote her own speech. But you know what? If you're a performer, you should have some kind of mechanism. All right, she had the notes on her phone, but she had to wait for someone to hand her the phone, And then she starts talking about how the cost of living is even too high for her. Well, why is it too high for you? How are you living in excess? Because you must have a lot of overhead to have problems keeping. You must have like 5 houses and 5 boyfriends and 10 SUVs and a whole bunch of staff. And then she even admits that Kamala is promising a lot. She is promising a lot, Kamala. And, why didn't you deliver these goods during the past 4 years instead of promising it right now? And then Cardi B does the underdog thing, just like Kamala does it. I worked at McDonald's. I'm the under. You know what? Maybe you did. You probably did broke your ass. You probably did work as a bartender or in a bodega. But you know what? There's something called the nouveau rich, okay? And she even admitted she's a hustler. Okay, because there's greedy rich people and there's greedy poor people. There are people who are born rich and they're nicest, kind-hearted people in the world, and they're and then there's people who are born rich, like Donald Trump, who's a greedy person. I'll get into him too. But just because you were born poor and you were an underdog doesn't make you a nice person, okay? Because you got greedy, okay? You got so greedy and obsessed that you're not a regular, humble person. You're just you're just a face. You use your Instagram channel. You have 2 million channels of you strutting up and down the driveway in your bikini with a drink in your hand, talking about your kid, and 2 million people sit and watch you, okay? You have a celebrity status, and that's why Kamala hired you to do this. Excuse me. Yeah, I need my notes, too. Anyway, then she starts criticizing Trump because of he's protecting women whether they like it or not. Well, you know what? That is the truth. I'll tell you why. Because of the Iranian regime takes control over the world, women will have no rights. Okay, and right now our current government is appeasing the Iranians too much. They're in bed. They probably have some greasy financial deals. Why the hell do you think Kamala is rated like the #1 politician? You don't just get that kind of rating without kind of, under the table financial deal. You know what? All these women, they're concerned about their right to choose. I understand. I'm not a woman. I wouldn't want, but right now in this world, abortion is not a top priority. Human rights and human safety are a top priority. And if there is World War III, and if the Iranians and other dictatorships succeed, women will have no rights, okay? Sex is a luxury. Don't have sex or use, birth control. I know if I was a woman and I came back to life and I had men coming at me, I would dress terribly. I would dress in baggy clothes. I'm pretty goddamn good at it as a man. I don't have any woman. I know I could probably make myself look sexy. I know I could probably dress nice and have women around them, okay? But whatever I did my whole life, it repelled women. And I lived most of my life celibate. I don't even have urges anymore. You could do it. I'm not saying be crazy like me. I'm just saying I want this and I want an abortion on demand like a drive-in at McDonald's. That's what people are. They get so caught up in their selfish little needs. You understand? But in conclude, you see, we know what these people have in common. Kamala, J-Lo, Cardi B, all of them with their anti-Israel, pro-Gaza. They identify with poor, oppressed people. They see the people as of Palestine, similar to the minorities in America who faced oppression, for decades and centuries. And they don't, without knowing the whole picture, without knowing the history of the Jewish people, without knowing about the colonization of Israel, they just jump on the bandwagon, not knowing that Israel is a tiny little state of New Jersey fighting off the whole Middle East, and without them, these evil empires would come right after us. But no, we keep giving them money and pacifying these sick bastards who want to kill the whole world, who take our money and still want to kill us, and send people in our country who are ready to be activated and blow us up at any time. In conclusion, I just want to say that I never was a Trump fan. I never liked Donald Trump. I never liked the Bush family. I never liked the Kennedy family. I never liked anybody who already has money and has everything they need and then goes into politics. There's no reason to do that. If you're already rich, that means you want power too. It's just human greed. I'm not saying that politicians who come from poverty are good either, because Biden came from no money and he became a greedy piece of shit too. I'm saying that I never liked Trump. I never liked the fact that he got bankruptcy in the early 90s and he got money again, and here I was struggling to pay my rent. I never liked rich people, but you know what? At this point in time, he's there. He's the candidate, and he's the candidate who I think can best serve his country. I'm not saying he's going to be perfect, and I'm not going to say we're not going to have problems with him later, but as an immediate remedy right now, because of the choices we have, he is the better option, because these people are doing nothing. They knew nothing. They sit there. They can't make decisions. They're bureaucratically constipated. And the Iranians and the North Koreans and the Russians and who else is out? And China, they're getting bigger and bigger and stronger. And we're going to be. Look what happened with the Iran hostage thing in 1979 when Jimmy Carter was president. You see, you got to watch it. Right now, we have some crappy people in office, and I blame them for putting these crappy, because there are a lot better Democrats they could have put in office, and maybe a lot of people wouldn't be voting for Trump if the Democrats didn't F up. All right, that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. My political episode. I can't promise that I won't do politics again, but that's America. We have free speech. We have the right to speak our mind. Have a great day, guys.